Why we sleep. It was a cozy evening at home, and Leo was feeling particularly curious. He was standing in the living room with his grandmother, Martha. Leo didn't want to go to bed yet. He felt like he had too much energy. He looked up at Martha and asked, "Grandma, why do we have to waste so much time sleeping? Imagine all the playing I could do if I never slept." Martha smiled and pointed toward the hallway, where a large clock ticked away. "That is a very big question, Leo," Martha said. Leo tapped his chin, looking at the clock. "I wonder," Leo mused, "what is the longest a person has ever stayed awake? Could I stay up for a whole week?" He began to imagine himself as a superhero who never closed his eyes, patrolling the toy box all night long. He pointed at the numbers on the clock, trying to count how many hours that would be. Just then, Leo's grandfather, Arthur, walked into the room. He had overheard the conversation and decided to join the fun. Arthur was a man who loved facts and science. "A whole week, you say?" Arthur chuckled, sitting down in his favorite armchair. "Well, Leo, humans have tried to test that limit before, but it isn't as easy as you think. Our brains are programmed to need a recharge every single day." Arthur leaned in and lowered his voice. The world record for staying awake was set a long time ago by a teenager named Randy. He managed to stay awake for about 264 hours. That is 11 days and 11 nights. Arthur held up his hands, splaying his fingers to emphasize the number. Leo's eyes went wide. 11 days seemed like an eternity of cartoons and games. Arthur nodded. "Exactly. After just one day without sleep, your brain starts to get foggy. It becomes hard to remember things, and you might get very grumpy. If you stay awake for 3 or 4 days, your brain starts to play tricks on you. You might see things that aren't there, like a floating toaster or a purple cat." Arthur pointed to his own temple, explaining how the brain needs rest to keep its gears turning smoothly. Martha walked back into the room carrying a small mug of warm milk for Leo. "And don't forget the brainwash, Leo," she said with a wink. Leo looked confused. "The brainwash." Martha handed him the mug. "While you sleep, your brain actually flushes out toxins and trash that builds up during the day. It's like a cleaning crew that comes in at night to make sure everything is shiny and new for tomorrow." Leo took a sip of the milk and let out a long, slow yawn. He realized that if he didn't sleep, his brain would be like a messy room full of old toys and dust. He didn't want a foggy brain or a messy head. He wanted to be sharp and fast, so he could learn new things at school and play his best during soccer practice. He rubbed his eyes, which were starting to feel very itchy. Arthur stood up and walked over to Leo, putting a gentle hand on his shoulder. "So, you see, Leo, sleep isn't a waste of time. It's the most important part of your day. It's when you grow taller, when your muscles heal, and when your memories are stored away in little folders in your mind." Arthur began to lead Leo toward the stairs. "Even superheroes need to plug into their chargers, right?" Leo tucked himself into his bed, pulling his soft blue blanket up to his chin. He thought about Randy the record breaker, the purple cats, and the nighttime cleaning crew in his brain. "Good night, Grandma. Good night, Grandpa," he whispered. As he closed his eyes, he wasn't sad about missing out on play. He was excited to see what wonderful adventures his recharged brain would dream up tonight.